My next guest, Audra Weeks, has actually been on the Bogcast before. You can check out episode 97, where we do a little deep dive onto her book, Moving Mountains, A Hero's Journey. We talk about cognitive therapy, self-worth, hypnotherapy, plus so much more. So make sure to check out episode 97 of the Bogcast. On today's episode, we get to talk about my favorite subject in the world, psychedelics. Since our last episode, Audra's been on quite the psychedelic journey. She's done everything from Psilocybin to DMT, aka Bufo Alvarius, and she's very kind enough to come on here and share her experiences with us. Please don't mind my dumbass. I think I mispronounced Psilocybin numerous amounts of times throughout the podcast. So besides that, please welcome Audra Weeks. So the last time you were on the show was the Bogcast, which was August 28th, and we talked about my favorite subject in the world, which is psychedelics. And recently, since then, you had messaged me saying you've had several Bufo journeys, both micro and full, mushroom ceremonies, both solo and facilitated, 2 ayahuasca ceremonies, and you're moving towards a facilitator role.
Yes.
I think that was one of the coolest messages I've ever gotten. I was like, holy shit. So I was really stoked that you're willing to share the experiences and maybe talk about it a little bit. So I thought maybe I don't even know where to fucking start, but maybe just as we're talking about your experiences, maybe we could dive into like the drugs too, maybe if they're not familiar what DMT is, towards ayahuasca, towards psilocybin and mushrooms and things like that. So I guess after the podcast, what was like the first move towards all of that?
It was interesting because in that podcast, you were talking about how you were in LA and you were like wanted to do DMT so bad and you were looking for it, and someone finally said, "Dude,
it'll find you.
The DMT finds you."
Mm-hmm. That's so true.
Well, we were talking about the healing modality that I had gone through that I shared in my book, Cognitive Therapy, and then we moved into the psychedelics, talking about how they're used for healing, and it was just so interesting to me because after having that conversation with you, not a month later, it came to me.
That's what McClay always says, synchronicity.
Yeah, it came to me.
In what way and like how?
I had actually met this guy. He does body work, and I had gotten some body work from him, and I think he was kind of maybe feeling me out a little bit to see like where I was at. Should he introduce me to the facilitator, and right after the podcast, he said, "I'm gonna just go ahead and hook you up," and he did. So I went on my way.
So it was like in the form of psilocybin, or?
No, it was, I did a couple microdosings of Bufo.
So that's what's interesting to me, because I'm very unfamiliar with microdosing Bufo. And for people who don't know, Bufo is Bufo Alvarius, which is the Sonoran Desert toad, which you can primarily find here in Phoenix all the way. It's the Sonoran Desert, and they only come out during monsoon season. They usually come out just to mate, and then they go back underground. And but from my understanding, I have a lot of knowledge in like microdosing, like say Cybacil and stuff like that. Microdosing DMT, just I'm unfamiliar with it. How does that even work?
So the way the facilitator that I go to does it, he does like three rounds, and you start at a very small dose, and then on your third dose you'll be maxing out at 10 milligrams, and so that's considered a microdose. And so for a full ride with him, he would, I'm going to guess at this, I don't know if this is completely accurate, but I'm assuming he would start you out, because it's 3 rounds. He would start you out at 10 milligrams, and then you'd bump up to 25 milligrams, and then your full ride would be 50 milligrams.
When you say full ride, you're talking about when you're being pretty much catapulted in another universe?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a lead up to it instead of just kind of going full out?
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
If like it's all in, everybody's journey is going to be unique to them. And for me, I wanted to ease into it. Like I wanted to enjoy every part of the journey. I didn't want to just go, whoa.
That's fucking smart.
Yeah. So I'm like, why not enjoy every part of this? Like acclimate, like get to know the medicine a little bit before I go blasting out there.
Fuck, you should write a book on that, because that just completely changed my viewpoint right now. Because as much as I'm into psychedelics, no matter when you take it, there is that anxiety, and it's scary. You know what I mean?
It is.
Especially with DMT, because, you know, you're fucking blasting off into another realm for like 15 minutes, but what seems like fucking years usually. And, but to ease up to it, I don't know, that's fucking genius. I never even thought of that.
Yeah, some people choose, they want to just go balls to the wall, and that's their prerogative, and it's, you know, that's what feels good to them. Me, I'm more of like, I want to see what this is about. I want to get a better understanding of what this is, and then I'll go balls to the wall.
So when you took that first micro dose, do you like experience anything, or was it like maybe some subtle stuff, or how?
You know how you hear about some people that they don't react? I know with Bufo, it's probably very, very rare because it's literally the strongest psychedelic on the planet. Mm-hmm. But there are people who don't, like the way their body doesn't process the medicine to give them the journey. And so like my first dose in, I didn't feel anything. And I'm like, great, I'm one of those people, you know? And then on the second dose, I had feelings. It was more like body feelings, maybe some images. And then the third dose in, I actually got some, like a white background with some psychedelics, kind of like oh God, what would you call them? Like
geometrical patterns?
Yeah,
like a kaleidoscope?
Mm-hmm, like a kaleidoscope,
yeah.
But it was very white. The images were very white.
Were you in what they call did you experience what they call the waiting room, where it is, from what my understanding is, like before you go into the complete blast off, there's like a waiting room where it is all white. Was it like that at all, or?
No, it wasn't. So I've experienced the NN DMT as well. And I feel, as far as I've only experienced that once, and based on, some videos I've watched and other people's experiences, I think as far as I got with that experience was the waiting room.
Me too. I think we should bring to light that there's two different kinds of DMT. There's the Bufo Alvarius, which is 5-MeO, and then there's the other one. What is it? 5.
It's called NN DMT.
Yeah. And when I've done that, I've never actually blasted off. I always just end up in that like waiting room, like, you know, it's kind of disappointing actually.
It was intense for me. I'm like, there's more. Like when I came out and I explained what had happened, he basically told me that, like, I don't think he used the term waiting room, but he said, before I took my dose, he encouraged me, like, if you can, take another dose before you completely go in. And as fast as I was going in, I was like, oh, hell no. Like, there was no way.
It was so much.
I just laid there, and I remembered, I'm like, oh my God, I want to scream. I just want to scream. And then I'm like, it was so weird, because it was like, oh my God, I've been here before. I already know what this is. I've already been here.
What?
I had a complete awareness that it's almost like I recognized that everything is happening all at once.
When you got that feeling, did you feel safe at that point? Or were you still kind of like scared in a sense? You know what I mean?
No, I was scared.
Still scared, yeah.
Yeah, I was still scared, because it was like with the NN DMT, there's a lot of noise. It's like a loud hum buzz. Like, and it's super loud in your head, and I am seeing all these colorful psychedelic images, and I'm just like, you know, I felt paralyzed. I was scared.
So, like you weren't in control, obviously. Yeah. Was it like out of body at all, like experience, or
no?
You just kind of felt like trapped in your body.
I
but
felt
like your mind was in another realm maybe?
Yeah, I felt like something had opened up in my mind, but my body was like paralyzed, and I was just kind of stuck in that moment, watching it all unfold. And when I came out of it, I immediately covered up my face, put my hands over my face. I felt shame. And honestly, I think that experience for me, the healing aspect of that experience for me was, the energy that I was experiencing was so intense. It was literally vibrating my body, and it was vibrating this hidden, buried shame that was inside of me. It was like vibrating it up and out. And so I experienced a tremendous amount of shame when I came out.
So was there positives from this experience? Like maybe because of that happening, like there's a big, maybe real, stress relief from your body, or, like what happened after, like, from the next few days and weeks?
I would say the positive from that experience was that, when we experience trauma in our lives, especially like really intense trauma, the imprinting that happens, it goes so deep and so far out, like layers, boom, 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 boom. And I felt like in that experience, it was shaking those outer layers that I hadn't reached yet when I had gone through cognitive therapy. I couldn't get that deep, and it had reached those outer layers, and it shook it. And so we don't want to have that stuff hiding in our bodies, embedded, not even in our bodies, but also in our energetic fields. And so for me, that even though that experience was terrifying and coming out, I felt shame, it was very healing, because it was shaking all that to come forth for me.
Almost out of your body.
Yeah, to release it. So yeah, I think that experience was healing.
Yeah, I think it's very important just to face those traumas, like it's scary to want to do that, to experience that. Like, I'm going to smoke this and then be terrified for 15 minutes, you know what I mean? But people don't realize that overall, in the grand scheme of things, like, you become a better person. It's like, right? Am I wrong on that, or?
No, I think you're right. I think sometimes people get caught up in the fear that they experience, that they don't get past that fear to see, well, what did this experience try to show me? Or what did it teach me? Or what did it do for me? They get stuck in that fear. But I think if you move past, like, oh my God, that was terrifying for me. How do I feel? What's happening right now when I came out? Like, what's happening right now? How do I feel? And then, like, in the next couple of days, the processing part, like realizing that vibrating and that noise, it made me so uncomfortable. All my walls went down, everything went down, and it was able to penetrate and bring forth this shame that had been echoed out that I hadn't reached yet, so I could release it.
That's fucking amazing. I can't believe that. That's have you done DMT like since that experience, and then maybe like it was more profound because you were able to break that first barrier? You know what I mean?
I have not done DMT again. Pretty much all of my experiences with DMT, other than that one, has been with the Bufo.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a more it's not. Oh boy, how do I explain this?
Because it's more like, since it's from nature, it's more natural in a sense. You're talking about the Bufo?
Yeah, I think that because it's incredibly powerful and intense too, but there's something about it that feels a little bit. Maybe it's because there's not as many visuals with the Bufo. Like, you get some visuals going in, and then you might have like visuals of an experience that you're having, but it's not all psychedelic. It's not all these images, blah, like blasting you. With the NN-DMT, that it seems more like a kind of like a psilocybin experience. Is very colorful. It's very like exaggerated. It's very, like in your face. But with the Bufo, for me, experiencing the Bufo, it's more like I'll have, I don't have as many patterns going in anymore. And I asked my facilitator about that, like, what is that the patterns that are happening? And he presented me with the idea that it's basically my brain is being reprogrammed.
Mm-hmm.
with those images. The images are basically a distraction so that it can reprogram.
Wow. It's like your brain's being defragmented, and like that's kind of just what you see as it's happening.
Yeah. So my experiences with Bufo now going in is more, I don't really see that white. I'll see the white going in, but without the geometric images.
So what is happening though? Like, are you like looking at your environment and you know, is it like acid? Like maybe the things are melting and things like that, or what are you experiencing like mentally?
For me, a lot of my experiences are,
and just really quick, do you do this? Are your eyes open or closed?
Both.
Yeah, because I know sometimes when you close your eyes, then you see like more geometrical patterns and the kaleidoscope things compared to like maybe when they're open, you know? So I don't know.
Generally when I'm going in, like I'll open my eyes, and even just seeing like the people or the space that I'm in, everything is happening so fast. I have a very profound awareness that everything is happening all at the same time. We experience moment to moment, but when I experience Bufo, I experience the reality that there's
Time's irrelevant.
It's irrelevant, and everything is literally happening all at the same time.
I believe that too. Yeah,
and I am very aware of that, and so I think, you know, going in is pretty intense because that awareness is like, holy, wow,
and
like,
it makes it seem like your lifetime is just like that too, right?
Yeah, it does. You know, I feel like time has been going so much faster since I've been on this journey.
I apologize just really fast. If you see me looking over here, I'm just making sure that we're still recording. I'm not disengaged.
Oh.
It's a one-man show here.
You're
so
like, hey.
I hope it's still recording. All this
Is
shit.
it?
Yeah.
Okay,
We're good. Yeah.
Yeah, so when I'm experiencing that everything's happening all at one time, generally I'm also experiencing the feeling of knowing that I am everything and that I'm nothing.
At the same time, yeah.
Yeah.
What about like as far as humanity? Do you get that like we're all one on
Yes.
this planet kind of thing? Yeah,
that there is we are literally all the same energy.
Yep.
All the same energy experiencing itself in the body of Keith, the body of Audra, whoever's in front of you. It is literally the same energy.
Makes you want to be kinder to people, you know?
It does, because you're looking at yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I'm not real familiar with the Bible, but when Jesus says what you do unto your brother is what you do unto me, because they're the same.
Speaking of the Bible, so are you religious? Before all of this, were you religious?
No.
Are you religious now?
No. I'm spiritual. I would call myself spiritual.
Okay. Cause I feel that way too. Like, I'm not gonna obviously commit to just one religion, you know what I mean? And then find out I was like, the Mormons were right or some shit. Like, fuck, picked the wrong one, you know what I mean?
Send me back.
Yeah. So, I was actually raised Catholic. I mean, my parents we didn't go to like church or anything like that, but, there are some like weird ties in the Bible with psychedelics, you know what I mean? And there's also just
where Jesus turns water into wine.
Just that, and
and it's probably psilocybin.
And just the bush, the bush was filled with like DMT when what's his name smoked it and shit, and saw all the fucking images and just all kinds of wild ties to it. But so when people aren't religious, it's interesting. Sometimes they get into psychedelics, they'll become at least spiritual, you know what I mean, and realize that like there is something bigger out there. But I wanted to ask you personally, like, what do you think? Like, is there a God? Is there, you know?
I wouldn't say that there is a God. I think there is a divine energy that is absolutely infinite, and I believe that we are that. We are that. We're just a piece of it.
Yeah, but what is that?
Everything and nothing, like a void.
But where did that come from? You know what I mean?
Right. Where does it start? I don't know.
I hate to use this because a lot of people say this, but I just compare us to like an anthill, where like those ants can't comprehend us or our size or really who we are. They might kind of a little bit, but they're kind of just concerned about their little world and their little anthill. I just think there's bigger beings that we just can't comprehend because we just don't understand it, you know?
Yeah, and we've been programmed.
That too.
We've been programmed to not even consider possibilities like that or ideas like that.
But I'm also convinced that like we could be like, aliens came down and, impregnated us, impregnated like the OGs, and then we're kind of like half alien, kind of half human hybrids or something. Or there's all kinds of theories.
Like going back to the Bible,
yeah.
It basically says that.
Yeah,
in
totally.
The chapter Genesis, that aliens came and impregnated the women and created half-breeds is what they called them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there is a weird space and time where we just got like a lot more intelligent, So, anyway, so you have plans on doing any of the DMT soon, or can you do too much DMT? Is it like one of those things you want to do all the time, or is it like, sometimes it's just once a year, you're good for a while, because the experience is so profound.
So it hasn't been quite a year, but in the last, I'm just going to say year, I've done 2 microdosing sessions, in total, probably 3 full round sessions. And then, the way my facilitator does ayahuasca, he wraps it up with a full round of Bufo. And I've done that once with him. So
The ayahuasca?
yeah, I've done ayahuasca with this group twice, but the second time I landed so right side up that I didn't feel like I needed a wrap up. Like I didn't feel like I needed to have it all come together. I felt like it had already come together. Well, then 2 weeks later, I'm like, hey, can I come?
Oh, yeah.
I kind of, lost my footing a little bit. And
can you explain the differences between ayahuasca and DMT, and then maybe get into that experience a little bit?
So I've only sat with ayahuasca twice. There is DMT in ayahuasca.
Mm-hmm.
Ayahuasca has 2 ingredients, and I think it's like a vine.
Like bark, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
From the Amazon or something like that?
Yeah, it's 2 things that are put together, and one of the things is the DMT, and the other part is the honestly, I don't know what it's called, but the 2 together, it makes ayahuasca.
So what fucking crazy guy back in the day figured this shit out, right?
So
You
from my understanding, back in the day,
because this shit's been used for thousands of years.
Yeah,
by the way.
they were told that they were told by the plants, like someone actually had a vision. The plants spoke to them. He had a vision, and then they told him exactly where to find these 2 plants, and he found them, and he put them together, and it was
an alien.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't have a lot of like information on background or like exactly what ayahuasca is. I just know that there's 2 components to it, and one of them is the NN-DMT.
Yeah, and so DMT is very similar to ayahuasca, except for DMT is usually about a 15 to 20 minute ride, as to where ayahuasca is about 6 to 8 hours, isn't it?
Yeah, I think depending
or even
on
days sometimes. Some people do it for days.
Well, I'm actually getting ready to go on a retreat not this weekend, but next weekend. And I'm going to sit for 2 nights with Aya.
Damn.
Yes. I'm really excited, and I'm really nervous because I know like how
long it's going to be.
well, that and like ayahuasca, I mean, none of the psychedelics are any joke at all. Like they're all sacred and they're all super powerful, but there's something about ayahuasca, like you don't mess around like that. If you want to experience a psychedelic for like just to see what it is, or for pleasure, or to just trip, ayahuasca is not the one you're going to choose.
No, definitely not. Yeah, you need someone there to guide you, and it's not like it's like, oh, let's get some fucked up on ayahuasca. No, you
are literally on a journey.
Yeah. And what's weird to me is I thought you had to like fly completely out of the country and like go to these like rich, like in the middle of the jungle and do all this shit. It seems like it's coming closer to home to be able to experience this stuff now, right?
Yeah, more and more people have come to realize that there is a lot of power and in the medicine, and that there's a lot of healing potential in it, like so much more healing potential in these plant medicines and the toad than any prescription you can take.
I am fully on board with that. I fully agree with that.
And
There's so many people that just go to their doctor and just listen to whatever he fucking says without even second guessing it. And then they're on these like fucking crazy psych meds, all this shit all the time. And then their behavior completely changes, or they become a different kind of person and shit, when, you know, you could have these psychedelic experiences and really fucking not only deal with that past trauma, but become a better person in fucking general, you know? Like when I take mushrooms and shit, there's like a couple minutes here where I'm like, why was I an asshole to my sister last week for no reason? Or, you know, a couple minutes where I'm like, how come I haven't called my friend, you know, in like a year or whatever? And then guess what? The next day I'm fucking calling him. I'm fucking, you know, making sure I'm cool with my, you just become a better person from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Almost.
And it
like
sucks while you're on the shrooms. You're like, fuck, why am I thinking this? This fucking sucks. But in the long run, that's the best part for you.
It is. It's showing you where you can grow. Like
totally.
It sounds like in that journey for you, the mushrooms were showing you where you were disconnected in your
totally.
life.
Oh yeah, for sure. Totally.
Yeah. We tend to judge it though. When we're experiencing it, we're like, feel the guilt. We feel all the feelings, but
as you should though.
Well, I don't necessarily.
I think it's having those feelings is what makes you, like, you know, like I said, that next day change. You know,
but I still think that you can change the next day without feeling those feelings. I feel like if you can, and believe me, like I'm learning, because I still feel all the feelings. I don't feel like we need to like punish ourselves.
I don't think of it as punishment, because a minute later you're laughing your ass off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but in that moment, it freaking, like you said, it freaking sucks, man.
Yeah.
But if you observe it and say, hey, this is the medicine showing me that I'm disconnected, like I should reach out to this person, or I should be nicer to my sister. Like, I don't think that was
just an example, but
yeah, but I think you can get the lesson without having to beat yourself up over it, you know?
Without even doing the mushrooms, you mean?
No, I think that when you're in the mushrooms shows you things.
Yeah.
But I don't think we have to beat ourselves up in that moment to get the lesson.
For me, it's like, because I'll do like these heroic doses, and there's like 2 hours where it feels like someone's just taking a knife on my stomach, and I'm throwing up, and I'm just like, ugh! And that's when I like all this crazy, I like reanalyze my whole life and like all this crazy thoughts, you know what I mean? And then after that 2 hours, I'm fucking having the best time of my life. I'm laughing. I'm watching Blue Planet, fucking wondering where life came from and all this shit. You know what I mean? So,
what's a heroic dose for you?
Heroic dose is 5 grams or more. Yeah. And I did that about 2 years ago. I feel like I'm good, like, you know, for a little bit. I do want to do it again, but like, I just, the heroic dose is one of, like, when I did with my buddy, and like, you know, we really like set our intentions out, and, you know, we'd really try to get the most out of it. But then when my girlfriend picked me up, it was like 5 a.m. the next day. I mean, I looked like I went to war. My hair was all fucked up. I was all fucking sweaty. And she's like, what the fuck happened to you? I was like, it was awesome.
I was a hero. Babe, I was a hero.
Yeah, exactly.
So going back to your original question about like doing too much, I feel like it just depends on the person. Like, how long does it take you to process an experience?
Yeah.
For me, I generally take a little bit longer. Like, I don't want to overanalyze, but I also want to make sure that I'm getting as much, you know, as I can out of it, whatever messages they may be, because stuff like that comes to you for a long time. You know, afterwards, the synchronicities, like you have this experience, and it kind of is around a certain subject in the experience, and then all these synchronicities start happening, you know, and I just ride that wave. And when that wave seems to have kind of like died out, then I'm like, then I analyze, am I ready to go again? But now I don't go a full ride. I feel like a more workable dose for me personally is just going halfway there. So my full ride is now just halfway.
For like DMT and mushroom, like for everything, or
no, just the DMT, just the Bufo. Yeah.
I'm interested in now trying the Bufo, just micro. So and see what happens. Because I've only tried the full blast. So I do like to microdose psilocybin though. I'll do like 0.2 every 3 days. Take one and wait 3 days. Take another one. Stuff like that. Do you ever fuck with that?
I actually have some microdose capsules, but I haven't really used them. I don't know why.
The studies that are coming out from microdosing psilocybin are absolutely insane. From like Stanford and John Hopkins and all this shit about literally it reconnecting different parts of your brain and stuff. And I could fucking I feel like I'm doing my own experiment on myself, and I generally do just like wake up happier. I just feel like not getting as angry as easy, you know, things like that. More creative. I feel like I'm in the most creative fucking time of my life right now and shit. I don't want to say it's just from the microdosing, but it's definitely helping, you know.
Yeah, it's opening up new neural pathways for you.
Yeah.
Because we tend to follow the same pathway over and over and over. It's like the program.
Yeah, because we're programmed. Yeah.
Yep. And these psychedelics help to open up new pathways for us. And, you know, I've noticed that sometimes I have some repeating patterns, like old stuff. And I'm like, why, you know, like, why am I still doing this? But if you figure, I mean, I just turned 50 this year. So for 49 years of my life, I've been running this same pathway. It's going to take some time to create this new pathway where it's deep enough that I'm actually going to run that course instead of the pathway that's like way deep.
You kind of have to like undo that one while you're implementing the other one.
Yeah,
and then
kind
once
of.
that one's a routine, the other one's fucking gone.
Yeah, fill that one in while this one's being created.
What's the most amount of mushrooms you've ever done?
5 grams.
Oh, you've done the 5 grams?
Yeah.
It's pretty wild, huh?
Yeah. When I sit in ceremony, that's my dose.
So let's talk about how that works. Like a ceremony, is it a big group of people? And then is there like one shaman who maybe is not doing it to make sure everybody's cool? Or
No, the shamans ride. The facilitators ride with you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. They like blow smoke in your face and chant and shit, or like...
I've never heard any chanting, but yeah, they sometimes will do the like Indian tobacco and blow smoke at you, or like instruments are played, and instruments are really help move energy around.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
so
not just divination, just playing any kind of music or anything. It just takes any kind of trip to another level. Music's fucking
powerful.
Oh God. Yeah.
Powerful.
Yes. Especially when you get like for DMT, like the certain sounds of getting those certain frequencies and shit, you know what I mean? Like that they hit, and it's just like, it really does enhance your trip, I think.
Yeah, see, with the DMT, I might be consciously aware of the music, but I'm like, I can't hear it. When I'm going out, I don't.
Well, I feel like it helps you get there, and then while you're there, it's kind of like balancing you in a way, you know what I mean, like subconsciously, you know what I mean, while you're enjoying your trip, or maybe not enjoying it, but however you want to look at it.
I like the music when I'm coming in because it helps me like kind of like reground back into my body.
Totally. And then like when you're coming down and you hear that the music you were listening to when you went into it, it makes you feel like, oh, okay, I'm back, like you feel safe, kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like faster. Do you ever fuck with like LSD?
No.
Have you never taken LSD before?
I took LSD when I was in high school.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I have no idea how I took it in high school. Like I actually sold acid in high school. So
really?
I fucking always was McClay fucking. He used to take like 5 hits of acid and then pick me up for our telemarketing job, and then halfway through be like, "Bro, I'm frying balls." Oh, I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like, holy shit! Like, yeah, he was all fried out. We used to call him Frying Brian and shit. Yeah,
Frying Brian.
But I'm scared to do LSD now because I realized it was easy for me to take it back in high school because I didn't have all this fucking like, you know, baggage that I have now that, you know, I'm going to confront and shit, because LSD is pretty wild too, you know? So
yeah, I think I stay away from the LSD mainly because it's a man-made.
Yeah.
So I'm not knocking any of the man-made stuff that people are doing, but for me personally, I would rather go the route where it's natural.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, like it's naturally grown. You know, and the toad, like it was all created.
How do you feel? Are you familiar with Hamilton Morris?
Mm-hmm.
Do you watch? Are you up to date with like his recent show? Have you ever seen Hamilton's Pharmacopoeia?
Mm-hmm.
That's like my favorite show in the entire fucking world.
It was so good.
I fucking love that guy. But I don't know if you saw the recent episodes where there was a pamphlet that came out in the early 80s about how to do Bufo. And it was just by some anonymous guy and no one knew where it came from. And that's how everyone started like becoming aware of the Bufo Alvarius, right? So he tracked the guy down and found who created the book and did a whole episode on it, to come to find out it was the wrong guy.
Yeah.
And then he did another one. And but what's badass about him is like he corrects his mistakes and he actually found the real guy and all this shit. And long story short, he's been replicating that old book to raise money, I think for the Michael J. Fox Foundation or something like that. But inside that book, he found a way to synthesize Bufo Alvarius because of him and people like Joe Rogan. You know, this drug is more popular than ever. So, you know, people are going out into the wild and just fucking with these toads like crazy. And
Yeah.
it's actually like harming their environment and shit because people don't know what they're doing. So I feel like Hamilton Morris has this responsibility to come. He figured out how to synthesize it and shit. And he literally went to Mexico and at a Bufo Alvarius convention and showed them. They pretty much all gave him the finger, you know what I mean? So I was wondering like your thoughts on that, like synthesized Bufo compared to like regular Bufo, like from the toad, you know?
I haven't tried the synthesized.
Yeah, me neither.
But I mean, I would be willing to try it out and see if there's a difference. I've seen, I think I saw that conference that you're referring to, and I think the conflict was because a synthesized and actual nature are going to be two different things. So I can see how you can synthesize something and it being
supposedly exactly the same, but it's not.
Chemically,
You know what I mean? Chemically, yes.
It's exactly the
Yeah.
same, but the experience of the actual living creature of the toad and its experience in life and its consciousness,
Yes.
its consciousness is teaching you something. Like there's a consciousness there, and a synthesized version, I think it might be
lacks that, yeah.
I think it might be lacking the consciousness piece of it. I still wouldn't say that it wouldn't have healing properties, because anything that's going to put you in a position where you're letting all your guards down, like you don't, when you're under some of these psychedelics, like say with psilocybin and ayahuasca, you can resist it, and it's awful. Your trip's awful when you resist, but with Bufo, you can't resist. You can't resist. It's so powerful that it completely breaks down the walls like that. Like there's no.
You were smoking it, right? The Bufo?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe this would be an off-camera thing. I can edit this out if you don't want to talk about it. But can you explain the way you do smoke it? Because I feel like the people I've done it with don't know what they're doing, and then they like burn it or they fuck it up, and like I've seen a lot of people waste it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, honestly, I've never like actually held the pipe and
they
the
do
flame.
it all for you?
Yeah.
Is it a glass dick? Do you know what that is? Like a meth pipe?
No, it's not that. It's kind of like a metal. I don't know. It's got a metal thing, and then it's got a glass cylinder that hangs from it. So then when you're done, you would just unscrew that glass cylinder.
And it's in the glass cylinder?
Mm-hmm.
And you're heating that glass?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if I don't feel like I can explain exactly how you're supposed to do it, because I've never done it. Like I've never actually facilitated it and dosed somebody else.
It is really hard. I mean, it is really easy to fuck that up. You know what I mean? There's like a science to like even the amount of flame and all that shit. Like,
you know what's going through my head right now is, how do you smoke meth?
yeah, you've seen a meth pipe before? Like glass? Oh yeah. Duh. I'm an idiot. Sorry. I'm sorry about that.
For those of you that don't know, I was addicted to meth when I was in high school and in my 20s.
Well, let's give this a chance to plug your book really quick. I mean, if people want to buy your book, and you want to fucking talk about that for a second?
Yeah.
I mean, I know we brought that up the last time, but might as well fucking talk about it again and shit. I mean, since the last time, it seems like all kinds of people are fucking sharing or reading it and being like, holy shit, this is fucking amazing. I've seen like a lot of positive feedback from it. It's touching a lot of people. Do you have plans on writing another book anytime soon and maybe talk about some of these experiences? Or
I think that if I did write another book, it would definitely be around this, because I feel like this is the next leg of my journey.
Yeah, totally.
You know, just kind of like picking up where I left off from the old book. Because when I wrote the old book, I actually published it in August of last year, and my psychedelic journey started in October of last year. So I have a whole nother understanding of trauma and, you know, how I had an understanding then, because we did talk about it in that interview about how trauma echoes out. And
but you did it perfectly, because you figured all like how to deal with that before having to deal with the psychedelics just as a human being, and then went that route. I think that's even more powerful, you know? Yeah,
I definitely think for some people it's going to be the journey, maybe similar to the journey that I took, you know, like going to therapy. I still go to therapy. Going through the cognitive therapy that showed me, it gave me so much awareness of the patterning that was happening in my life. And having that awareness, I feel like going into the medicine, already understanding what awareness looks like, what it feels like, the medicine is expanding that awareness. And I feel like I did a tremendous amount of healing with the cognitive therapy. Like, most people will go through that and they'll be able to have, you know, a good, healthy life that's where they're not repeating patterns over and over and over again because of the awareness that comes from it. But for me, with the trauma that I experienced personally, it was the kind of trauma that echoes really far out. And I know in part of our conversation, we were talking about, like, I had done psychedelics in high school.
Yeah. So
because I had, and because of the knowledge that I had gained from becoming a Reiki master and from becoming a certified hypnotherapist, and the psychology that I took in college and then going through cognitive therapy, I had a very clear awareness that trauma can echo out to a point that this realm, you cannot reach it in this realm. It's like you have to go outside of this realm to reach how far out that trauma has echoed.
Because there's all these barriers it created.
Yeah, well, also energetically, it's like if you were to imagine a radio tower, and you would imagine the waves coming off the broadcast, it's broadcasting, and so these waves are coming off this radio tower. That's like what trauma is.
And for people who don't know, you can watch episode 97. Audra gets into it more, but you went through some fucking crazy wild shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we won't have to get into it again today, but there's a whole episode that we talk about. It's a fucking awesome episode. We talk about a lot about her book too. So yeah, I really appreciate you fucking sharing all this stuff with me. Like it just takes a certain kind of human being to not only like go through all this shit and you know, but like overcome. I don't want to say overcome it, but like I can't even explain. I'm bad with words right now. Like I'm just so fucking in awe of you. Like you're just such a fucking amazing human being. I don't mean to get all cheesy right now, but like you've been through some fucking crazy shit, and the fact that, you know, you did all this cognitive behavior, and like I said, even before psychedelics, when you came on here, it was super inspiring and motivational. All this shit you said, like, wow, fucking, she fucking took this right on and like knew, you know, I have these things I have to deal with. And not only are you dealing with it, you're sharing with everybody, you're writing a book, and now you're on this psychedelic journey. It's like, fuck, man. And now you're going to be a facilitator soon?
Well, I'm moving towards that. So one of the, just real quick, my book is called Moving.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
No, I'm not going to let that moment pass me by.
I'll put links up and shit too. So.
Okay. The book is called Moving Mountains, A Hero's Journey.
Yeah.
So I'm so excited to share this. This is like one of the most amazing things, realizations that has been coming to me working with the medicine is that, so like when I was writing my book and I was going through the cognitive therapy, I'm looking at these wounds as their wounds. These wounds have caused me pain and grief and suffering and shame. And the only good that I could see coming from those wounds was that I could share my story and how I'm healing from it to help other people heal from their wounds and to let them know they're not alone. But now I feel like the medicine has like leveled me up, and I'm becoming very aware that my wounds are actually my gift.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah.
Most people's are, they can turn that into that, you know what I mean? Instead of just being a victim of it in their entire lives and being, you know, stuck and trapped, you know?
Yeah. I think when I wrote the book that I realized my wounds were a gift because I was able to give a gift to somebody else because of what I've experienced. But now, like, because like the certain wounds, oh my gosh, Keith, I've had so many experiences with women, like women that have womb wounds. They come to me, you know, and they have these experiences. Like I had 2 people that I privately facilitated in my home, and the wounds that came up for them were womb wounds.
Can you explain that? Does some type of trauma happen when they were being born?
It could be. Yeah. So like, there could be several, I mean, and there's probably more than what I'm going to name off, but I'm going to give you a couple examples. It could be when they were in the womb. It could be women that have lost children.
Okay.
When they were pregnant.
That's got to be very traumatic.
Yeah. It could be women that have experienced abortion. Mm-hmm. It could be women that have been sexually violated. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of different, you know, things that could have happened to women to cause a womb wound. For me, mine was sexual violation. And even though these women that were coming to me were, didn't have the same wound, it was still a womb wound. And I feel like I'm being called, like, spiritually, whatever you want to call it, spirit, God, it has been giving me the mother. That's what I would probably call it at this point, the mother.
You're talking about like instead of God?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is definitely your path. Like, you were meant to do all of what you're doing.
And it's becoming a lot more clearer to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like the endeavor that I'm going to be taking as far as facilitating is working one-on-one with women that have, it doesn't have to be just specifically women that have this womb wound, but I have a feeling that the ones that have the womb wound are going to find me.
So do you think a male could have a womb wound? And the reason why I'm asking you this is because I heard of I was listening to a podcast about some gentlemen that who did DMT together. And one of the guys just completely fucking freaked out and was just going ape shit. And these were actually like UFC fighters and shit. So one of the UFC guys had to like fucking literally like put him in like a chokehold kind of to like calm him down and shit, right? And so like a few days go by and they're asking him like, what the fuck was going on? Like, while you're going through all of that, like, why were you freaking out? And apparently when he was being choked, and he didn't like, he just like he couldn't stop himself from being choked. And he realized that when he was being born, he almost died because the umbilical cord was wrapped around his neck. And he had that trauma in the back of his head and didn't even know it his whole entire life. And then confronted it in that DMT. And he said his whole life and just distress and anxiety was just lifted off his entire shoulders. And I was like, there's trauma people have they don't even know about. That,
there
you know
is.
What I'm saying? That's fucking crazy.
We literally enter this world, into this plane, our first experience is trauma.
Yeah.
Being birthed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know that I would necessarily consider that.
I don't know if that's a womb, but that just like, I don't know.
I think you're relating it because he's coming
from the womb. Yeah,
from the womb. Yeah. But that's, again, though, I believe that we...
It's interesting as fuck though, right?
Yeah. I think that we have, like, I feel like I've experienced other lives. Like, I can remember bits and pieces of certain things that how would I remember these things? And it's weird because I feel like everything's happening all at the same time, and I might be tapping into another experience
From like a different version of you in a different time, maybe?
Yeah, like on a different
So is
timeline.
that reincarnation?
I don't know. I think it would be considered something other than
Because
reincarnation.
it's all at the same time, you're saying.
Yeah,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do that all the time. You just knocking these things over.
But I would say, so I'm, without like going way off the deep end, I'm going to say I believe in reincarnation and that we've had other lives. So I do believe that men have come into this life as a man, but they've also experienced life as a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, you carry in wounds that weren't healed. It's like ancestral wounds. So I do think it's possible that men experience these unhealed womb wounds from another life.
Yeah.
So
that's fucking crazy. Ancestral wounds. That's fucking wild to think about.
There's during one of the ayahuasca ceremonies that I was in, I really felt like I was doing ancestral work, and I'm gonna backtrack there because I kind of lost my thought on that. There was another mushroom experience that I was in, and I was definitely doing ancestral work. Towards the end of my journey, I received hape. Do you know what hape is?
I don't think so.
So it's totally legal, and it's all like herbal, different trees, roots, bark, leaves, grasses, whatever. But it's like a shamanic snuff. And so they take these pipes, and it's usually like going to be straight and then go up at an angle.
Oh, yeah.
And the person's going to hold the angled piece up to their nostril, and the other person serving is going to like blow it up.
I've seen that, but I didn't know that's what it was.
Yeah. Some people call it rape. Some people call it hape. I call it hape. So I received hape, and oh my gosh, I saw all these ancestors like all around me. They were all around me, and I was like purging, and like I had this very clear realization that the ancestral wounds the ancestral work that people are doing is these wounds that were never not even like necessarily healed, but these people never had a voice. They never got to scream their pain. They never got to cry their pain. And so when like these ancestral wounds are coming up, like I actually started screaming, and it was not, I'm very aware of what my energy feels like. They were not my screams. It was like, I was screaming for these people that never had a voice. They needed it to be witnessed. That's all they needed, was their pain to be witnessed so that it could move.
So you're seeing all these people in front of you and feeling this at the same time?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Fuck. And you just knew they were your ancestors.
Well, I kind of figured as much because I felt like in other journeys that I was doing ancestral work, because I'm like, this doesn't...
Just really quick, what do you mean by ancestral work, where you're literally just doing psychedelics to like maybe tap into your ancestors? Is that what you're talking about? Or
it could be for that, but so when
Ancestry.com?
No.
Just kidding.
So we carry a lot through our DNA, and when there's trauma affects our DNA. And so when we don't heal the trauma, it gets passed through generation to generation. And when the trauma keeps going unhealed, it just keeps getting passed from generation to generation until it meets up with someone in that line that's willing to do the work. And so I feel like a lot of, maybe not a lot of it, but some of the work that I'm doing is wounds and pain that had never been witnessed or healed in my generational line that has been passed through in my genetics. Like it's in me. Like here's an example that might help people understand it better. So when you're in the womb, oh God, I just kind of lost how that thing worked out. But it's like the grandmother already has the eggs from like her grandmother. So my mom had like the genetic makeup of my grandmother, and her eggs it's like it passes on through.
More than you think.
Yeah. So like, yeah.
That's fucking.
I encourage people to look up what I'm trying to explain because it's really freaking awesome.
Tonight. This ancestral work, this is fucking changing my whole line of thinking of like, especially when you said that trauma is going to keep being passed down until it gets to the person that's going to fucking confront it.
Yeah.
Because now I'm starting to think I'm supposed to be that person for like my like lineage or whatever, like, because you know I'm all about that shit. Now I'm like, fuck, I think I need to go deeper actually.
Yeah, so like when you're doing the work, not only when you're doing ancestral work like that and you're doing your own healing work, you're not only healing behind you, your ancestors, but you're also healing in front of you.
Yeah, like your offspring and shit.
Yeah.
Damn, I need to do that before I have kids.
You better get your healing work done.
Yeah. Right on. Fuck, man. Damn, I got a bunch of deep dives to do on the internet tonight. How does cannabis play in the role in any of this? Do you fuck with cannabis?
I don't.
No, not at all.
Yeah,
huh?
no. And you know, like mostly I'm not going to go into what my occupation is, but because of my occupation, I'm very strict on like I would never be doing anything that would cause me to be in any state of mind while I am working.
Yeah, but what about before bed?
Yeah, I just it's true.
Or before you watch Netflix, it's awesome.
I don't know. I think cannabis is probably a more day-to-day use thing, and I just
too much.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, maybe if it's not day to day, but like even on like mushrooms, like, you know, smoking a bowl of cannabis like actually takes the trip to a different, like, you know, turn in a sense, not even in a bad way, even, you know. And
you know,
just,
I think my hands are full with the I think my hands are full with what I got there.
A couple shots and then, no, just kidding. That's when it's like a party, but I'm not like that anymore. That's how I was in high school. It's like, let's do mushrooms, get fucked up, you know.
Yeah.
Now it's like, you know, we're setting intentions and, you know, trying to, you know, I'm old and shit. Trying to get the most out of life here, you know.
Yeah, so. Intentions are super, super powerful.
Fuck
like,
yeah.
I would never go into a ceremony of any sort without setting some sort of intention.
Let's see. I think I got all my questions and shit. We do have a special Patreon portion where I just have like a couple questions and shit, some rapid fire and stuff. If you got another like 15 minutes, real quick. Is there anything else you want to plug, or maybe your social medias really quick, or
my Facebook is Audra Rene Weeks. My Instagram is Audra Rene Weeks.
Sweet.
And my website is AudraReneWeeks.com.
Oh yeah, keep it simple. Usually everyone, it's all different for everything. So
yeah.
That's nice. Awesome. And if you want to check out all the exclusive content, make sure to subscribe to patreon.com/thebogcast. So thanks for joining us for, I think it's episode 7 of Getting Blunt with Keith.